And now
Awesome. Hi guys, I'm Jen. I'm originally from Georgia, but I moved to Chicago about 4 years ago. I'm a teacher. I teach pre-K on the south side of Chicago. And my sister was actually a Beachbody coach, and I kind of sort of coached under her a few years ago, but didn't really do much with it. So I knew about the Beachbody coaching world. I knew, you know, about the ins and outs of it, but um, definitely not as much as I've learned in the past 3 months. My sister ended up stopping coaching. She has 4 little ones, so not anything against Beachbody. She just had a lot going on in life. So I honestly don't really remember when Joan and I became friends, but I'm pretty sure she just stalked me on Facebook. My boyfriend is actually from Portland, and his sister and Joan are very good friends. Joan found me on Facebook, added me several years ago, I guess. And she actually reached out to me once when my sister was still coaching and I was under her. And so, I politely declined, but kept following her journey. And I think we really kind of reconnected last summer when she started 80 Day Obsession. And I reached back out to her. I was looking for a new program to do. I was kind of not really doing a lot workout wise. So I reached out to her. I joined one of her groups shortly after she asked me to coach, but I just wasn't really in a place. I was starting a new job at a new school. I had a lot on my plate at the time, and I just wasn't ready. And then last fall, I went through a lot of personal stuff, had 2 grandmothers pass away back to back. And so my kind of just fell off the wagon completely with nutrition and fitness. And then I reached back out in December and said, I definitely want to do 80 Day Obsession. I'm definitely in for that. And then I can't remember if it was shortly before 80 Day Obsession started or shortly after I reached back out and was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. And I really didn't.
before.
What'd you say?
So it was shortly before.
Shortly before. Okay. So I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I wanted to give it a shot. And so I did. And I think the first really smart choice that I made and something that was very helpful for me was I joined the January training camp or whatever you guys called it for new coaches. And I dialed in for every call and I learned a lot through that group and just started doing what Joan told me to.
Wait, I really love it when people come on this call and their big secret to success is like, I just did what Joan told me to. Because Kelsey, does that remind you of you? I just did what Joan told me to. So it's a little more than that, right?
Yeah.
I think that, already in her story, it's important to point out, like, you guys, somebody that you talk to may not sign up right then and there. Somebody that you might talk to may not sign up even a month or two from there. But if you continue to do what you do, they're seeing you, they're watching you. If you continue to check in every once in a while and just say, hey, how are you doing? Then you are going to be the first person that pops up in their mind when they decide that they want to do something. And I never pressured Jen to coach. And, when I knew that her grandmothers both had passed away, I kept checking in with her on that just to see like how she was doing. Cause it was crazy back to back. And I was like, geesh, like, give the girl a break. And so, I just kept checking in with her on that. And then it was right before 80 Day Obsession started. I just got this message from her that was just like, she was ready to move like out of doing whatever she wanted to do. She wanted to start coaching and helping other people. So can you tell us a little bit more about like that? Like what stemmed that decision for you? Like what made you finally be like, okay, I'm ready for this? Is that your why that made you do that? And is it your why that drives you now?
So I think that what finally made me pull the trigger on coaching was probably a conversation my boyfriend and I had had. We've been dating for almost 4 years now. We're getting ready to move, to the next step, to engagement and marriage. And shortly after that, children. I'm going to be 29 in June. I'm pressing 30, and it's giving me like mild anxiety attack over here. But I know in the next, 5 years, I'm going to want to have kids. And I know that when I have kids, I want to stay at home. That's, it's never not been an option for me. I've been very upfront with my boyfriend about that. I don't want anyone else. Like, I just want to raise my babies, what I want to do. And so I knew that I need a source of income when I do that. I'm not someone who likes to ask for money. I'm not someone who likes to ask when I want to go shopping. If I want to go shopping, I want to go shopping. And that's just me. I know that's who I am, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Maybe I'm wrong, but I knew that I would need another source of income. And I also knew that in order to stay home with my future babies, I'm going to have to quit my day job. And so that is really my why and what pushes me, knowing that, if I work really hard now, I can make that dream become a reality.
Awesome. And, you guys, what's really cool about Jen sharing that with you guys is that you can see there that this is such like a terrible way to put it, but it's a selfish why. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have a selfish why in this business in order to do anything. Because if you just come out and say, I just want to help people, like, that's great. And you will help people. Like, I get messages every day from people that I've helped, and they're like, you've changed my life. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But like, you have to have something else that's driving you. Otherwise, there's going to be times where you don't want to do this, and you're just going to say, fuck it. You're not going to do it because there's nothing else to help you push forward and to do it. But when you're looking at the reality of like, I want to quit my job and be a stay-at-home mom, and like, I want to get married and I want to do this like sooner than later, and I feel like time's upon me, then you're going to crush it and you're going to work even when you don't want to. So tell us a little bit about that. So you said you plugged into the Put Me in Coach group, you dialed in, you showed up to every single call that we did, you did the assignments and that sort of thing, and that's how you kind of got trained up. So within that, I think that's important to you guys, plug into the training groups. But what did you start doing? Like, how did you start your business?
So I think the first really task that you gave me was I posted a photo. I think it was maybe like a week or two into 80-Day Obsession. Mm-hmm. Basically just inviting people to join me. Mm-hmm. And I remember that was like on a Saturday morning, I think. And I remember we chatted on maybe Monday night, and you were like, okay, well, did you reach out to those 61 people that liked your photo? And I was like, well, no. You're like, go send them this message right now. All of them, doesn't matter. Just send it to all of them. And I did that. And it was very scary at first. Mm-hmm. But I quickly learned that if I wanted to help people, I had to put myself out there. Mm-hmm. And so that was really my first experience reaching out to people. And I got some no's. I got some completely ignored me. But I just kept doing that. And I found that if that's what I'm going to have to do, then that's what I'm going to have to do. And I just kept reaching out to people. It was shortly after that Meg posted some donuts in our training group. And I took that mm-hmm. and I just started sending donuts to people and just sent them and sent some more.
Yeah. And so like, as you started doing it, I mean, this is something that's so scary. I'm going to just plug this in just in case. This is something that's like so scary for people, right? Like that first step of putting that post up and that first step of reaching out to people. Did it get easier like as you did it, or what happened that made it so that you were like, okay, this is okay, I can keep doing this?
It got so much easier, I think, because I stopped caring mm-hmm. if people ignored me. Yeah. Like, I knew that I had some people reaching back out to me. So obviously, people were going to respond, and I just stopped caring if people ignored me or, ever, I just didn't care anymore.
Okay. And so when you're sending those donuts up, are you following up? Are you, how are you getting them from donut to signing them up as a challenger in your groups?
So either, they may message me back and we may, go from there, or if they just completely ignore me, I have a system in place where on the 15th of every month, I go back to the previous month and I send a follow-up message.
Okay.
From the first half of the month. And then at the end of the month, I go back to the 15th through the 30th of the previous month and send follow-up messages to those people.
Awesome. What's your follow-up message usually say?
Something to the effect of, hey, I'm not trying to bug you. I'm just really seeing great results from this new program. And so are the ladies in my challenge group. And I'd love to have you join me.
Awesome. And
are you interested in learning more? Something like that.
Cool. And when they do answer you, or you do start a conversation from the original donut, like how do you take the conversation from there?
I start asking about themselves, like what they've been doing as far as their nutrition, what they've been doing as far as their workouts, what they like, what they don't like, how much time they can commit, what their fears are as far as failing, any of those questions.
Awesome. So you're getting to know them more and how you can help them better.
I don't mention programs. I don't mention Shakeology. I don't mention any of that until we've had a lengthy conversation, unless they ask me about the program that I'm doing. And then it's a different conversation. If they come to me with that question, then it looks differently and I will talk about it, but not if they don't, then I just talk about them for a while first.
Exactly. So conversation template, you guys, if you haven't checked that out in the files section of our team page, like what Jen's doing is exactly what that combo template tells you to do. It has you stop talking about yourself, start talking about them, ask them more questions, dig deep, and learn a little bit more about them. Now, if you have somebody who likes like a 80-day specific post, you can dive right in and say you want to learn more about it and add them into like the donut, or not the donut, but the info group, the Snoop group, and have them go through that process. But like what Jen's doing is very much so like what the conversation template tells you to do. So let me ask you this. You have been making SC20 essentially each month. How? What does your day look like? What do your activities look like day to day? Like what would you attribute that to? And feel free to like expand upon it and add as much info as you want.
So honestly, my day to day looks very different because I do work full time and I nanny part time. So I have a really busy schedule. I don't always have time to work my business every single day. But on days that I do have time or I have extra time, I try to do more. I do have a weekly to-do list that has tasks on it that I complete each week at the minimum. I think it's something like 70 reach outs, 30 follow-ups, posting 2 Instagram stories daily, 1 coaching post a week, 3 to 4 workout posts a week. And I feel like I'm missing something from that, but I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me. So I do try to meet those minimum requirements, but again, like it may not happen every single day. Like today, I've spent a lot of time with my ladies in my challenge group starting next week because they needed me. And so I really haven't had a lot of time to reach out to new people, but I'm still working a very important part of my business because I want to keep, those ladies coming back to me.
Exactly.
And then as far as reaching SC20, I've just been consistent. And I really like to kind of compare it to the 80-day obsession journey because I think a lot of us just finished that are still in it. And it's just like Autumn tells us, we have to trust the process in 80-day obsession. And it's the same thing in our business. We have to trust the process. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think that's one thing at the beginning that had me really frustrated in February is that I felt like I was putting all the work in and nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden it started happening. And that, continues to motivate me and know that like, if I keep putting the work in, then, it's going to happen.
Yeah, so I do remember that. I remember being on a training call. I remember you saying that you'd been frustrated. Talk a little bit more about that, how you got out of that, and what turned that around. Like,
Honestly, I just trusted you, and I trusted that what you were telling me wasn't BS, and that if I kept doing what you told me to do, that it would happen. And I think I had, just enough success along the way to know that it was going to happen and that I just had to be patient.
gotcha. Yeah, Jeff Hill, who, for those of you who don't know, he's part of corporate. What is his position? I don't even know.
Senior VP.
Senior VP, whatever. But he, he always says this is a delayed gratification business. Like, the work that you put in today, you're not going to see today, you're going to see later. And it's like sort of like a snowball effect of your efforts starts happening. And so if you stay consistent every single day as you go, this business is going to seemingly feel easier. But it feels easier because you've been putting in the work consistently. So those people, like, it's like, okay, I worked today and I got 3 not right nows, right? But then tomorrow I get like a next week. And then the next day I get like, in 2 days. And the next day I get like not right nows. So as we spin through that week and that keeps happening each week, it turns into like, that person's ready, that person's ready, that person's ready. And so later on down the road, you'll find yourself all of a sudden signing like 5 people in one day. And people are like, oh my God, how'd you do that? Well, you did that because of the consistent effort that you put through. One of those people could be somebody you've been talking to for a year. The other one you could have talked to that day. The other one was prepped and ready to go from last week. But that's how this business works. But as long as you are doing that consistent work every single day, you're absolutely right. You will be successful. And I think that, I giggle and I laugh when I say, like, Jen just did what I told her to, or Jen just, believed what I said. But in all actuality, in this business, your coach isn't going to hide anything from you that would make you successful, because it's called Team Beachbody for a reason. And I can't be a successful coach if I'm not helping my people get results in their workouts, if I'm not helping people get results in their business. And by doing that, like, to get them there, I have to share with them what I'm doing that's working. So like, when your coach is telling you to do something, you have to do it. And if you're not doing it, then that's why you're not succeeding. I also love that you have a weekly list of things to do. Melissa McAllister, who's actually been a top 10 coach like 5 or 6 years in a row, has that same exact list of like, here's my, list that I give to my coaches, and this is their weekly due. And by the end of the week, they just have to make sure that they've done all of that. So that's actually really cool. You guys, to reiterate, she just said she reaches out to about 70 people every week. She follows up with at least 30. She's doing Instagram stories daily. She's doing a coach invite post once a week, and she's sharing at least 3 to 4 workout posts a week about what she's doing. So let's talk about that too. Do you think you're seeing more success in your business by really following 80-Day Obsession and sharing about that as well?
Yes, absolutely. I can tell you that I would say almost all of my business just from this month has come from either Instagram stories or my post or my follow-ups.
Mm-hmm.
So just, that was something I struggled with in the beginning, again, because I was like really self-conscious about what people would think. And once I lost that and just started posting all the time, I started seeing more and more business come in.
So you also were not somebody who really used Instagram or Instagram stories before. And I do see you doing it consistently now. So how did you get trained up on that? Like, what, how did you make that become something that you were doing consistently, coming from not doing it at all?
Kelsey, I watched her, her call that she did. And then when I couldn't figure out how to do something, I just Googled it and watched YouTube videos until I figured it out. And I think I just really saw that clearly it was working for you guys. And so I needed to hop on that train too.
Yeah. And so what I love about what Jen just said there is that she was resourceful for her business, right? Like, you are the CEO of your own business. And if you want to succeed in it, yes, your coach is going to tell you what to do, but it really is up to you. It's your business. So if you need information, You either need to know how to go and Google it, where to find it, ask your coach, search around. YouTube has a crazy amount of information out there, especially that's been put up by like top coaches. Like there is an abundance of information out there. It's really just you taking the time and being resourceful and going out there and figuring out what you need to figure out so that you can apply it to your business and make it work for you. Now, Jen, what do you think that you guys, we can open this up to questions too. Because my last question for you is just going to be, what is your biggest tip for people who are just getting started, like right now? So maybe they've only put up their first post, or maybe they aren't even really there yet. Like, what is your biggest piece of advice for them?
I think don't be scared of what other people are going to think. I think that has to be people's biggest hindrance in sharing is, what are other people going to think about me? And if you're truly in this business to help people, then you have to stop caring about what everybody else thinks. Because if you don't put yourself out there, then you're never going to help anybody. And so just, stop caring and just do it. And just, I promise the more that you do it, the less you care and you don't even think about it. Like I don't even think about putting a post up now, and the words flow so easy, and like I enjoy it now because I know that someone is going to read that and someone needs to see what I have to say, and they are going to either reach out to me or they are going to be receptive when I reach out to them.
Absolutely. Amen. All right. So do you guys have any questions for Jen? I'm going to leave it up for just a minute. We did good on timing. It's 8:56. Look at us. I love that Katie said, don't be nervous. You're pretty.
Thanks, Katie.
All right. You're going to kill it. You got this. Go, Jen. I'm so excited for this. True life. Love that your why is selfish. I like extra too. And this gives me extra as a stay-at-home mom. I can go to Summit this year because I worked my butt off. Use what's working and put it into play. That is awesome piece of advice. Yes. Kelsey, yes, you cannot type. So yeah, I think the other thing is, nobody has any questions for Jen. If I was a brand new coach on here and I saw another brand new coach making SE20, I would be asking a butt ton of questions, but that was just me. That's the difference between me and you. Let me ask you this. So what do you post about? Like you just said, they flow easily. So what do you post about? What are you posting about these days?
I think the last month or so, yes, Kelsey, I'm going to Summit. I bought my ticket week before last. I think recently I was just posting about my 80-day workouts because that's what I do. Sometimes I post about my students and my everyday life as a pre-K teacher because there's never lack of goodness there. There's always something to post about that. I post about my family. Do I use specific hashtags? That is hashtags are something I'm still working on. Right now, I kind of just type one in and I see how many posts it has. And if it doesn't have a lot of posts, I'll choose that one. But I don't have any specific ones. What do I use to keep track of everything? Another thing I'm really working on, like I said, I just go back right now. I just go back into my Facebook Messenger to like today. I haven't done this yet, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll go back and see who I reached out to in the first half of March, and I'll follow up with them.
I'm laughing my ass off right now because that's how I used to do it. Like when I first started coaching.
I honestly really don't have a method to the madness yet. It's something that I'm hoping to figure out this summer when I'm on break from school, because until then I just don't have time, and I'm not going to stress myself out about it. Like it's working for me right now, and eventually I'll find, a better solution to the problem. But for now it's working for me. So like tomorrow I'll go back and I'll reach out to the people that I reached out to the first half of March. And then at the end of April, I'll go back and reach out to the people that I reached out to the second half of March. Hopefully that makes sense.
Okay, so let me give you guys some more info on how to track since.
Yeah, don't listen to me because I don't have the best advice.
I'll tell you that is the worst answer ever. It is not.
Sorry.
It's not that it's the worst. I actually did that literally until I was like 5-star qualifying. So there's that. But so like the first 6 months of my business, that's how I did it. It became an utter shit show each month though, because I'd be like, oh my God, I gotta go back and like write down every single name of like Meg and I were just talking in the car about this today, because we were like, how funny is it that we used to like write down all these names and be like, I was like, no wonder I'd message somebody and be like, oh yeah, a year ago she said she was interested and I never messaged her back. So I love Teamzy, you guys. So I know that I have talked about this in a past call. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but let me just share my screen with you. I'll take just 2 minutes and show you this and take up a little bit of time. I'm going to pop on over here into Teamzy. So what you'll see here is a dashboard, right? So I'm going to just tell you guys, I ignore all of this right here. All I did was, you guys can see my Teamzy screen, right? Yes, okay.
Yes.
So what I did is, if you go up here, there's a little setup wizard. And when you go into the setup wizard, what you can do is you can upload your entire Facebook list, your Facebook friends list into it. And so it'll tell you exactly how to do that. So you don't need me to explain to you how do I get my Facebook friends like exported and stuff. The wizard will tell you how. And then you can get them all exported into Teamzy. Now, once you get them into Teamzy, don't waste time giving them star ratings. You don't care, okay? So that's something they'll tell you to do. You don't need to do that. Then from then on out, anytime you start a conversation with somebody who is a new friend, like let's say you went out and you added like 10 new friends to Facebook, right? That's easy peasy. If somebody accepts your friend request, you get a little notification. You can literally click right there and add the new person. So there you go. They're added into here as well. So now you have all your people added in there. And if it's Instagram, I just add their handle. I'll come in here and I'll put their handle, or I'll put their name and their handle or whatever. So you have them all in here, right? So what you can do is once you've, said something to that person, you will set a follow-up. I don't look under prospects. I don't look under customers. I don't look under coaches. I don't pay attention to any of this. I don't click off any of this crap. I really don't care what my dashboard says. All I care about is follow-ups. So let's say I reach out to Holly today, right? And I say, hey, Holly, I just wanted to follow up with you, yada, yada, yada. Then I would come over here and I'd go, yep, followed up with her on Facebook. I want to follow up with her on whatever date. So I can say I want to follow up with her tomorrow, 2 days from now, 4 days from now, 3 weeks, a month, or I can literally click in here and I can make it custom for myself, okay? And I hit log connect. So once that happens, I don't ever need to worry about Holly again, because when I open up my Teamzy to work my business the next day, anybody I need to follow up with is automatically going to be in this list. So you can see I have 34 more follow-ups to do for the day, right? Because it just tells me. So then it takes all the guesswork out of what I'm doing. So I'm not spending time during my day like figuring out who I need to follow up with. I can just follow up with them. And then also, then I can just go down and then I donut the way we all show you guys how to donut. You just go to Messenger, you look at your people, and you donut that way. But then, you track it. So you donut, you track it. You donut, you track it. And then they're all in there. I mean, I don't go like that. I do all my donuts and then I'll look and I'll quickly add them into, I'll quickly put in Teamzy that I message that person and what date I want to follow up with them. So then it's always there for you and you're not going to forget anybody. For instance, someone says they're pregnant and they're due a certain date. You can reach out. You can put the date. I'm going to reach out to them 2 weeks before their due date to see how they're doing. And then I'm going to make it 2 weeks after that to see if they had their baby and say congrats. And then I'm going to make it for 3 weeks after that. I'm going to say, oh, hello, how are you doing with the new baby? And then I'm going to put it for 3 weeks after that because that's 6 weeks after they gave birth and they probably have the clear to go ahead and start working out again. So I'm going to start talking to them about if they're ready to join one of my groups. So Teamzy is going to help me do that. It's going to help it so I don't lose people. Also, if you don't want to pay for Teamzy, because Teamzy is $29.95 a month, it is free for your first month as a trial. Get one of these handy dandy little things and you'll thank me later. Literally cheapo $19 planner from Staples. On one side of it, it has the days of the week. On the other side of it, it has notes. write the hot list down, like your people that you're talking to who are like, you're in the midst of talking about goals, or you're in the midst of talking about a challenge group, or you've added them into the Snoop group or that sort of thing. So they're always right there in front of you. So you know that those are like your top ones to follow up with. Sound good? Cool. You said 70 people a day you reach out to. Who are those 70 people? Sarah said, I'm adding people daily, but I would run out of people. Who are they? So Sarah, I'm pretty sure she's probably just adding folks to her social media daily.
Yeah, I'm just adding friends, Sarah, and I play the A to Z, the alphabet game a lot. I don't know if all of you saw my post in the team page about this, but if I'm struggling for people, I'll play the alphabet game. So I'll literally go down the alphabet A to Z, and I'll just type it. I'll type in A in Messenger, and I'll pick someone who I haven't messaged yet that pops up, and I do that for every letter of the alphabet until I've gone through the entire alphabet. And one day it got me, I think, like 3 challenge packs in a day.
Yeah, so fun. And also, like, I will just say, if you're looking at your friends list and you think that you're going to run out of them soon because you have a really low amount of friends, you need to start friending like a bandit. You need to go out there and you need to put it on your calendar. Spend a certain amount of time each day to friend people and to grow your audience. So by adding hashtags to Instagram, you guys are going to start growing followers that way on Instagram. On Facebook, you legitimately can go out and look at your friends list and be like, oh, who are they friends with that I could be friends with, that isn't a coach, that I could start building a relationship with, that looks like there's somebody that I would be friends with. Awesome, friend them. Who are their friends that I feel that same way about? Friend until you are blue in the face. When I first started this business, I had 700 friends on Facebook, and I knew every single one of them outside of Facebook. Now I have about 3,500 friends on Facebook. So I actually delete some sometimes, like on their birthday. I think I've shared this before, but on their birthdays, I'm like, happy birthday. Like, I'm unfriending you because I've seen your posts and you're annoying and negative. But other people, and then I'll go and add more friends. So, or, you unfriend the person who was like, I'm never going to do that. Okay, bye, peace, like unfriend, So like, yeah, so friend away. If you have a low amount of friends, friend. And then keep in mind, when you're friending people, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to turn around and they're going to look at your profile, right? So you need to have your profile public so that they can actually check out your profile and see who you are and that you're a normal human being that they shouldn't be afraid of. And 2, I would have some really good posts up while you're about to go friend, right? Like maybe you have your before and after picture sitting there as one of your top posts, and a picture of your cute dog, and a picture of like, whatever. So like, maybe it's a cute dog eating pizza standing next to you while you're working out. Like that would get me. And if it was drinking wine, like I definitely would be like, I want to be friends with that person. So, I mean, I'm just saying. And then they see that and they're like, how did she do that? She got fit while like playing with dogs that eat pizza and drink wine. Like I want to do that. And then they reach out to you. So make sure your profile looks good when they're coming to check you out. How often do you reach out to someone before you invite them? That's Tammy's question for you, Jen.
Honestly, I think my initial donut has an invite to a challenge group in it. If you give me a second, I can read you my initial donut. Just a second. Let me find one in here.
Yeah.
While
you do that, Jen, while you find that, Bryce asked, what is a donut? Sorry, Bryce, this is something we probably should have mentioned for newbies. So a donut is literally just a quickie invite message that you send out without even like thinking about it. You don't prejudge the person. You don't worry about who it's going to. You just send it. And it's a term that's coined from like the donuts that you throw on a baseball bat while you're warming
up. Okay, this is the donut I've been using recently. Hey girl, happy almost spring. Not sure if you've seen any of my recent posts, but all the ladies in my challenge group are kicking butt and feeling amazing. Do you happen to be working towards any goals for spring, a trip coming up, or just in general to feel more energized? I just started a new challenge group and would love to have you in it. Are you interested in learning more?
Boom.
And I think I got that from the team page.
I think it's a mesh of 2 of them.
Yeah.
It sounds like the beginning of the one I'm using and the end of the one that Meg's using. So there you go. It's like a mega donut. The Franken donut.
Yeah.
Kelsey said I use Outlook and love it, and just set tasks, which I found out I love. I would kill myself if I used Outlook, but sure, do what works for you guys. Honestly, some people love spreadsheets. I'm just not one of them. But if they work for you, go for it. For me, I found myself like scrolling through things constantly and like adding notes and stuff. And like, I just needed to like get to like the point where like somebody would just say, here, this is who you need to reach out to. And that's what like Teamsy does for me. Esther, so add people from Instagram to Facebook. I don't get out very often to meet new people. It doesn't happen a lot. I don't talk to people in person. I mean, I do, but like I don't. Like I have no friends from in person.
No, you just add strangers. You just add people.
Like I didn't know Kelsey. Look at her. She loves me. I didn't know Jen. Like look at her. She loves me. Like Meg, we met in an office somewhere. That was the only person like in person because like we had to. But like, I mean, most people I just meet through Facebook. And then they're your best friends. So yeah, on Facebook, you can just go friend the crap out of people. Instagram, if you're using hashtags and you see people start like,
online besties.
go look and follow, you can just go and follow people who are following another brand or human being that you like and like start following them. Like maybe they like Oprah, which go for it. Start liking people who like Oprah. Or maybe they like Ellen. Or maybe they like, I don't know, Polar Seltzer or whatever. Like go friend those people that like the things that you like or follow the things that you like. So you can do it that way. Awesome. Chantel and I were wondering and had a bet as to what they were. I thought it was an acronym and she thought it was a glazed donut. I wish it was a glazed donut.
If only it was a glazed donut.
Guys,
I had one yesterday and it was worth every freaking bite.
You like have derailed. You guys, she messaged me and she's like, I had mimosas and I'm drunk as fuck. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you're like, end this program and done.
I needed a day.
Stalker. Gotta love LMU too. Haha, I didn't believe on online dating until I started coaching. It's true. You're just meeting friends through social media.
It's totally normal these days.
It is. And honestly, you guys, if somebody doesn't want to be friends with you, they just want to accept your friend request. Who cares? Move on. Right? Like you don't even know that they didn't accept it because like you don't remember everybody that you friended because you're out there friending like a bandit. So it's like, no skin off my back. You don't want to be my friend. Too bad for you. Like take you off my list of successful people. Your life's going to suck. So any other questions for Jen? Great job, Jen. Bridget said, yes. Nice job, dude. I'm super proud of you. You are kicking butt. I have absolutely no doubt that you are going to reach your goal of going full time sooner than anybody thinks. And I guarantee you that if you keep going the way you are right now, you can end this year multiple star diamond. So.
Thanks.
All right, ladies. Everybody go do your stuff.
There's a few gentlemen on the phone.
I know, but you know, and ladies and gentlemen, ooh-wee. This beat is automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh. Goodbye, guys. I love you. Goodbye.
Yes,
Goodbye.
Cat. Princess is here.